is Katie, and today we will be talking about Brown v. Board, or Oliver Brown et al. Versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas.
Is this gonna be like one of those John Green videos? I love Crash Course. Are you really making one of those?
Yes, me from the past. Only I have the video editing skills of a John, as in the toilet. And the green spent on this video, not enough to hire an editing team. So let's just say it'll be more John, no green. Wait, you expect me to do the intro too? You know I can't animate. Fine. Music! Music! Cool animation, which I have no skills for! Yay! Brown vs. Board of Education. Here we go. In the 1950s, things were not looking bright for African Americans and other minorities.
Aside from having segregated water fountains and entrances, schools were split as well. And while they were separate, they certainly were not equal, with black schools having approximately 12 more students per teacher and having 30 less days of school. So teachers had more kids to look after and less time to teach, according to the National Bureau of Economic Research.
Schooling is incredibly important because a good education is what gives an individual footing in society. Thus, without good education, African Americans and other minorities were at a severe disadvantage. But in 1954, a case challenging this inequality was brought before the Supreme Court. Linda Brown, an African American third grader, was denied admission to the local white school. Her father, Oliver Brown, brought up the case, but according to PBS, the federal district court found that the black school and the white school were substantially equal. However, joining with 12 other parents, the case went to the Supreme Court. There it was momentously decided that, and I quote from the transcript of the ruling, "In the field of public education, the doctrine of separate but equal has no place. Separate educational facilities are inherently unequal." This was a huge step in the field of civil rights, as the idea of separate but equal from Plessy v. Ferguson had served as a major justification for segregation. Now that idea was finally able to be triumphed over, and segregated facilities would be banished at last. Or would they? Because while Brown v. Board took care of legally segregated schools, social desegregation is another thing altogether. Thus, it is necessary to explore the question, to what extent did Brown v. Board lead to legal or social desegregation in U.S. public schooling? Oh, it's time for the mystery document. Great. There's no cabinet. And no cool chair. Wonderful. I'll be right back with the mystery document. Alright, I got it. We come then to the question presented, does segregation of children in public schools solely on the basis of race, even though the physical facilities and other tangible factors may be equal, deprive the children of the minority group of equal educational opportunities? We believe that it does. Really? You just gave me an excerpt from the case? Lame. Wait. I wrote the script. Lame. I mean, I suppose it is pretty important to what we're talking about. I'm gonna go put it away now. Anyway, to the question. To a large extent, Brown v. Board of Education led to legal desegregation in U.S. public schools. As I stated, the case overturned Plessy v. Ferguson by stating that the idea of separate but equal in the school systems was no longer valid, as seen in the excerpt from our mystery document. As this was a total legal ruling, all public schools could no longer be segregated under the law, and thus Brown v. Board to a large extent led to legal desegregation in U.S. schools. However, only to a small extent did Brown v. Board of Education successfully, socially unsegregate U.S. public schools. To begin with, there was much opposition to the idea of unsegregated schooling. In fact, As Doug Linder states, governors stood in schoolhouse doors, and angry whites terrorized the blacks. In some places such as Little Rock Central High, integration was only achieved after a powerful show of force by federal troops. This example serves to prove just how bad the social situation was. Federal troops had to come in and enforce the law to state governors. Even those in power resisted the change, and they were backed by many white supporters. Clearly, though legal desegregation had been established, many people still did not accept desegregated schooling. Additionally, even years after the case, only a small percentage of black children in the Deep South attended schools with white children, also according to Linder. Even though it was now legal, integration was still not much in place, and if not because of legal prevention, then it must have been a social segregation that kept the races apart. From the amount of desegregation that actually happened, though it was now legal, it is clear that Brown v. Board of Education had only a small effect on the social desegregation of U.S. public schools. But even though Brown v. Board may not have integrated the schools socially, according to the National Bureau of Economic Research,
the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 did lead to many integrated schools.
So, Brown v. Board, 1954, a Supreme Court case challenging segregation in public schools. It declared separate but equal no longer valid in the realm of public schooling, which served as a gateway for many more desegregation cases. However, while serving as a giant leap for legal integration, it did not do the same on the social side of the issue. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.